Evening, 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 evening. Share the broadcast where you are. Share the broadcast where you are. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Tag someone, invite someone, and tell them also to invite someone. Take the broadcast. Take the broadcast. Take the broadcast. Invite someone and tell someone to invite someone. If you see us, comment and say you see us. If you hear us, tell us that you are hearing us. If you are hearing us, tell us that you are hearing us. If you are hearing us, I would like to see where you are hearing us from. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. We shall be there very, very soon. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Good evening. We're coming to you in the evening. We're coming to you in the evening today in this leadership lesson with Dr. Stanley Maphosa. Would like to be talking today with a young man here, Jenamiso Dube. Jenamiso Dube. Jenamiso Dube, we are struggling a bit to get online. You know these things of load shedding and network shedding and everything shedding. I trust and believe we'll be in a position to break through soon. And we talk. We are ready to talk. We are so ready to talk tonight. Exciting young men doing exciting things. And we're going to be talking politics, the church, and youth participation. We like to hear from the youth. Nothing without the youth. Nothing about the youth without the youth. They say nothing about us without us. So we want to hear from them, want to hear from one of them. Last week we were hearing from a lady, Celiwe Swanda. Celiwe Swanda spoke quite a bit about youth participation, especially in the church, and we'd like to amplify that a little bit and see how far we go from church to society, from society to church, the role, the importance of young people. What role should young people be playing, and what role should young people not be playing in the space of politics, in the place of leadership in general? And to help me discuss that is Jenamiso Dube. Jenamiso JD Dube. I think you can see that he's trying to join us from where he is. Let's continue trying. I think we are going to be winning soon. We are going to be winning soon. We see the two connections that you're trying to come through with. Jenamiso Dube, we see the two connections that you are trying to come in with, and I think we will see which one works. We'll see which one works and see how we proceed. See how we proceed. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I see you. Do you hear me? It should be connectivity. It should be connectivity. It should be connectivity. It should be connectivity. It should be connection. It should be connectivity. Connectivity. Yeah, should be connectivity. Let me try on my headphones maybe. It's going to hear me. Meanwhile, trying to connect, you can still hear me. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me? Hear me now? I think he is not hearing me now. And yeah, I am going to maybe play a video of let me play a video, and we will get in touch another time. Let me play a video. We'll get in touch another time. I think that would work as well. I think that will work as well. That would work as well. But I share a video. I share a video. I share a leadership video here. I share a leadership video. I share a leadership video. Young people in leadership. Young people in leadership. Young people in leadership. Let me just wait a bit and see if he's gonna come. Okay, we'll wait. I'll wait a bit. Mele bakuzwe, mele bakuzwe, mele bakuzwe, mele bakuzwe. We are waiting for Janamiso Dube to connect with us so that we can be able to discuss a critical subject about young people, the youth, and be able to connect them with some of these political concepts, political ideologies, economic and social, socio-economic and political discussion. What is the role of the church? What is the youth saying? What do the youth need? What do the youth need? And what does the youth not need? And so forth and so on and so on and so forth. I think we'll be coming through in a few minutes. We'll be coming through in a few minutes and be able to connect on that and be able to connect on that as quickly as possible. We've got some challenges here, challenges of the network challenges. That's what we have right now. Network challenges are problematic. Network challenges are problematic. We can't break through for now. We've got network challenges. We have got network challenges. We have got network challenges. Maybe we can play some music meanwhile. I think we can. We can play some music meanwhile and see what can happen. I think music is good. Music is good while we wait for Jenamiso. While we wait for Jenamiso, we can play some music. A little bit of music, not much. We can definitely we can play some music. I can play some music. Yes, we can play some music. We can play some music. We can play some music. Waiting for Jenamiso there. Hello, you're hearing me now, Jenamiso?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sorry for the delay and sorry for the internet connectivity issues. This happens quite a lot, and it's not all our fault. Yes, let's just do a short discussion in the interest of time, and maybe before things start to go the way we don't want them to go. This program is called Leadership Lessons with Dr. Stanley Maphosa, and we bring in people that are in the leadership space, whether in civil society, in the church, in the community, in the business, to discuss a few leadership concepts. And I would like you to introduce yourself so that people can hear whether some of these elements come through in terms of your the work that you do, that which makes you wake up in the morning.
Yes.
What do you wake up in the morning to do from 8 o'clock to about 4? What's your typical day? And maybe even weekend. What do you do?
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd love to thank you for the opportunity given to me, the platform, and also thank those who have just tuned in to listen to us. Yeah, like I've been introduced, my name is Jenamiso Dube. And I understand the platform is all about leadership. So I consider myself a leader in different sectors. My typical day is like I wake up in the morning and go to the streets. I work in affiliation with a company that distributes herbal supplements. So we go out, we do the recruiting, we consult with people who are into herbal supplements for their healthy. So and then on Mondays and Fridays, I hold online sessions where I'll be presenting about our products and the business side on our products distribution. And then weekends, I have to make it clear that I'm a Christian. So Saturdays, obviously, I'll be still on that my typical week where I'll be doing the distribution of products and consulting with people and recruiting. But Sundays, I make it a point that I'm in church. So I will also involved in the church service. I'm part of the leadership at church. I'm the secretary there, Seat of Prayer Church. I'm the secretary there. Yeah.
Okay, maybe a few questions on what you do before we jump into the subject. You talked about the distribution of herbal products.
Yes.
Maybe you'll explain to us which company, because there are so many of these. But also, as you explain which company, you need to tell us why should people go back to herbs? Because when we joined the Christianity, we're told that herbs are for traditional healers and inyanga, and they are not good for Christians.
For
And some Christians that were doing herbs were their herbs burnt down and thrown away. And when we are Switzerland,
for starters, I work in affiliation with Greenworld. It's a company called Greenworld. It's located in Parktown. The head office is in Parktown, and we have 3 branches here in South Africa. We have Joburg, we have got Cape Town, and Durban. And then here in Africa, it is in all of 22 countries. And it's an international company with over 50 subsidiary companies involved. So it manufactures herbal supplements, or let me just say pharmaceuticals, right? Like I said, Doc, these are food supplements. So I understand the misconceptions around these products that we distribute, but we have to stress the point that these are food supplements. They just like food. And I don't think there's any religion that stops people from eating. And we always say food is meant for medicine.
Yeah.
It is not meant for pleasing the taste buds or just filling up the stomach. It is meant for medicine. So we've realized the dilemma that we're facing right now of poor food quality. People are now eating, maybe you will pardon my vocabulary, but I will term it crap, because we're eating stuff.
Fast food.
Yes, fast foods. And with that fast food, the emphasis is on fast, not the food part. We only concerned about the service. We want to serve you fast so that you go home and dig into your poison, right? So so we realize that people are the way we eat nowadays, we're just eating food that is rich in preservatives, colorings, artificial sweeteners, too much sugars, too much salt, spices, and all that. And this stuff is overworking our body organs. And I think even if we can interview you, you will tell us that the quality of food maybe 10 years back compared to the quality right now is not the same. So hence the supplements industry is thriving right now because they're trying to cover the gap. And we do not blame the producers of food, because the demand for food has gone up higher. The world population has grown bigger. So the resources for food are dwindling. So now there is a need to tamper with the natural way of producing food, and then the quality is compromised then. So that's where we enter in as dealers in supplements to make sure that we cover that gap. Then the issue around herbs being the arguments
Being
around
non-Christian.
non-Christian. I don't know about that, Doc, because like we consider this as food, But what I know of is that these products that I am involved with are produced by doctors, scientists, and researchers. So they know what the body needs and they put it in the right RDA. And there is no religious connections or connotations around the production of the products. That's what I know. That's
Wonderful.
why, yes,
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful explanation. I think our listeners that were skeptical, you have got your answers from the specialist there. If
yes.
somebody would ask and say, if herbs are good and they are what you are describing, why
Mm.
are these ones coming from a particular country? Are they coming from South Africa? Are they coming from Africa? The source of the material that is used to manufacture what you are selling. Where is it
Or
from? Which country in particular? Do you find some people from Nziki, from Balabala, from BD,
uh,
producing the herbs that can be produced and refined into what you are selling?
yes. Um, the this company is the initiative is a joint venture between USA and China. The founder of the company is a second generation American citizen, but she's a Chinese American.
Okay.
So the company is a joint venture between China and America. It is the head offices are in China, right? And
Okay.
we use the concept of Chinese medication, right? But then we say they are from China, but that's not necessarily true. These are herbs from all over the world because amongst our products offering, you will have your aloe vera, which is a
Okay.
herb that grows naturally here in Africa, and in Isintu we call it intlaba. So
Hmm.
now that the company is located in China and it's producing aloe vera capsule, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a herb from China. We have another product called Ganoderma. And if we have maybe lived in the rural areas, we will see that there are those mushrooms that grow on tree trunks that are reddish or greenish in color.
Yes, I
They
see
grow,
them.
yeah. That is a herb called Ganoderma. It's Ganoderma. I don't know what the scientific name is. So it grows naturally here in Africa, but now that it's coming from China, it is like it's Chinese medication. So there are so many products. You will have your ginseng that is found in America, that is found in Asia, that is found in Europe. So we've got different kinds of herbs from all over the world. So it's not
Wonderful.
necessarily, yes,
Wonderful, wonderful. We just wanted to pass it through that a little bit and assure people that if they are getting this, it is
yeah,
nothing spiritual. It is also
yes,
nothing connected to any country in particular, whether you
yes,
like it or not. But it is something that is going to help you for a
yes,
number of ailments that people are suffering from. You also
yes,
talked about the fact that you are a youth leader and you are secretary in the church, and I think that is very critical for our discussion here. Do you sit
yes.
in the youth secretariat or the secretary of the main body of the church?
I'm the secretary of the main board of the church.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's very interesting because most of the churches,
Yes,
at the top level, you can't find young people. You'll
young
find
people.
young
Yeah,
people in their own in their own committee,
ministry.
or in the
Yes,
committee of the young people. Will also find an elder who's called the youth
yes,
advisor. But I think your church is progressive, and I would like really to commend them for that. Okay, let's
yes,
talk about some issues about young people. What do you
yes.
think? What do you think young people need, whether it's in the church or in the political arena?
All
Sometimes
right.
we as elder people, we don't know what youth need, and we think we know when we don't know. Would
Yeah,
you tell us tonight what you think or what you know as young
uh,
people? What you want? Lifunani kathi vele.
uh, this this is getting interesting, talk. Um, yeah. I would say we need a lot of things. Number one, but let's start here. Let's start with the parenting in Africa.
Okay.
And how we have brought those elements into the church circles and how it has affected youth, right? I think in a typical African home setup, kids are not allowed to express themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and you will get into trouble if you question maybe a decision that is taken by an elder, to the point maybe of getting a beating.
Yeah.
And another issue again is that children are not allowed to express themselves. They are not allowed to express emotions. That's why sometimes even if you are beaten, by the way, corporal punishment is still there in typical African setup. So if you are beaten, you are not allowed to
To
cry, but
cry.
you'll be asking. Crying is a natural emotion. It comes natural. It's when we feel pain, we have to cry. Then you are beaten, you cry, and then after that you are beaten so that you keep quiet. That's the situation. You are beaten to say, are you crying? You have keep quiet, and you are being beaten. So why am I raising this? Is that I'm seeing some similar elements in the in the political setup, political landscape in Africa, and also in the church setup in Africa. Sorry for the background noise. Right.
No
So
problem.
to the point where youth are not heard, either in church or in the political sphere, because they are not allowed to express themselves, or they express themselves but they are not taken seriously. They are taken for granted. So I'll start with the political landscape, the political situation in Africa. Like you were saying that in church you will find an elder who's over 40 years, but he's still hands-on on youth activities. He's the advisor and also decide everything rises and falls with them. So there's little participation by the youth. Same applies
Yeah.
to the politics. You'll find that you will have a youth that is over 40 years and you are still asking, when are they getting old? And that youth is still occupying positions. They become sort of gatekeepers. And it's they become gatekeepers, and somehow they are like infallible. So whatever decision that they take is what goes. So if you are young then and you challenge that decision, it doesn't become a situation of let's sit down and reason together. It becomes a situation of saying, you are young, we've been doing these things for ages, you don't
Yeah.
understand. You will
You know
grow and be like,
nothing. Yeah.
you know nothing, you know. So which is like I said, it's gatekeeping. A good leader will say, okay, let's hear where you're coming from, because now you've been doing these things for ages, but now these times are changing. When times are changing, do we allow then the youth to say, since times are changing, or are we gonna do things this way? Are we gonna remain relevant? Are you gonna take our ideas and implement them, not only for maybe for the political party or the country alone, but for the future of the country, the future of the world? So in politics, I think there is less representation of youth. And I've walked around town, I've seen posters being put. Yes, I've seen some people who look like they're young, but I know for sure that maybe they are over 30 years. But we still need even people from 25 years
Mm-hmm.
engaging in politics and taking up positions, and then implement systems where we mentor them in those positions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the politics. And then back to church, like I talked about the parenting in Africa, where a child is not heard. We don't want to hear what they have to say. So even in church, we bring those elements. What we mainly focused on as a church is to make sure that youth do not misbehave.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are focused on most of the times. But we are saying, uh, have we taught the youth not to misbehave? Have we empowered them? Have we given them responsibilities and see how they occupy those spaces? Right? So even like we were saying, that you will find an advisor who's doing everything and saying everything, telling youth what to do, telling them that we've been doing things like this. This is the way that you should follow. So sometimes it hinders youth from participating.
So in
So
other
what
words, it's not an advisor, it's a commander.
is a command? Yes, it's a command. It's a command. So I think what we need is participation, both in the politics and in church. We need participation. We need to be heard. We need our ideas to be taken, weighed. If they apply, then they can be implemented. And we would want that credit also as youth, because we have wonderful ideas, but sometimes we feel like, let them do. Let's see where it goes. So participation, that's what I noted. We
Yes.
need participation, we need empowerment.
Okay. I think there are four things that you said. We need a voice, we need representation, we need
Yes,
participation, we need to be credited, we need to be
exactly.
empowered. You
Empowered,
gave,
yeah.
in another discussion we had, sometimes you gave an analysis of we need the fish, we need the
Yes,
water. Can you repeat that again? It was an interesting analysis because people say
yes. Mm.
don't give the fish, but give the rod and train someone. And you
Yeah,
put it properly in terms of how young people should be approached in that allegory.
yeah. It's we hear people saying, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, and then teach a man how to fish, you feed him for the rest of of his life. So we are saying we want to be taught how to fish, but
Mhm.
also we want the fish pond. We want
Mhm.
the seas where there's fish. We want to be there by the seaside where there's fish. We want a stake there.
Yeah,
We need to be taught how to fish, but we also need to own the fish pond. We need a stake there.
yeah, yeah. This is amazing. This is really, really amazing. You are dividing the three areas very well. It's not about the fish, but it's also the training on how to do the fish, but
The
also to
fish,
be owners and participants of the pond
of
where
the
the
pond.
fish is happening.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I think our network is giving us some bit of problems. Maybe let me ask one last question.
Oh, all right.
One last question as we round off, and I think we'll make time to have another discussion sometime.
Yes,
Do you think when we're looking at the country in particular right now, and we have the political independence, what
yeah.
are other issues that are still lacking where the youth need to be playing a role?
All right. I think now that Africa is free politically, now there's need for financial freedom.
Yep.
We have political freedom. We need financial freedom now.
Mhm.
We need to, as Africans, we need to own the resources and make sure that the resources are benefiting us. We benefit from whatever is happening in the country. We have a stake in what in the proceeds, right? A lot of people. Let me start here. Like we were talking about youth participation. As youth, when we are to vote, it is less to do with the political party, but it has to do more with our situation, what our aspirations, what we want to do. We want to be in a country that gives us opportunities to that will emancipate us, that will make sure that we become wealthy and contribute in making the country a better place. Right. So as like we were talking about participation, youth need to be there in the plannings, in policy formulations. We need to be there. Our aspirations as youth need to be considered. There's some background noise here.
Yes, there's some bit of background noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether you hear me now well.
Yes, I can. I can hear you now. I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've removed the mic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying there is political freedom. we need financial freedom. Yes, the stalwarts of the struggle for for freedom did their part. They brought us political freedom. Now we need governments that do not only promises us jobs, but also give us means to produce jobs.
Okay.
Yes, all the youth are aspiring entrepreneurs. You interview every youth you come across, they will tell you they would want at some point to have their own thing going. But now they are not there in policy formulation. So you find that maybe the policies are not allowing us those opportunities as well.
Yes, yes. Maybe they are decided by adults on behalf of
Yes,
the youth, and therefore, as you
of the
said, the
youth.
participation is quite critical.
Yeah.
Yes. You also talked about the fact that you do some creative writing as well, social commentating, as well as uh, that concept of Christian 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 entertainment, Christian. Yeah, in the
Yes.
background when we were speaking before the studio on the back door, you talked about that. Can you give us a
Yes.
little bit of that, and where can people find you?
Yes.
Because I listened to a few of some of your clips and I was amazed that there's so much talent and there's so much information that is being dished out in a comedic way, but it is
Eh,
really a very strong concept that you are developing with your team there, with your group.
yes. So it was an idea that just came spontaneously. I was seated with friends, and then we started having an argument, and it happened that it was to do with Christianity and doctrines. So what I
Yeah.
did is I recorded the argument, and then it went on, and then I realized this is content here. This is similar to what I've seen in some social platforms, social media platforms. So I then told the guys, I'm gonna post this and see the reaction. So I put it on my WhatsApp status, and then the response was good, and I shared with the guys. So these are the guys that I work with on the this hustle that we have of distributing herbal supplements, and we are from different denominations. I'm a Pentecostal. The other lady is Pentecostal. The other guy is Zion. Is from the Zion movement. So we then started singing, but then we thought, let's have, since we started with a video that has got some message, let's make sure that we produce content that addresses a lot of things in as far as the church is concerned, and just what is happening in the current affairs. And then we also in having some plans to advertise, to use the platform to advertise. So we thought of also promoting like artists who are upcoming, who are maybe seen more on social media, not in live shows and all that. So we just sing about them and see the response and see if people know about them. Then so we opened the Facebook page called Churchtainment underscore ZW. And that's where we post some videos there. It's still new, but we've posted several videos, and we do uh, we have songs, we have arguments, we have some sketches where we just address some stereotypes around church, and also uh, where where we live, that is in Quebec, and the plight of uh, diaspora, uh, diasporians, whether I don't know what you call it.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, they can expect such content on our page.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you also do program directing, MC. What kind of events do you usually measure in, so that those that are listening to us, I see many people are now joining. I think we had
Yes.
some challenges earlier, but if they want to see you, maybe MC their weddings, their birthdays, their graduations, and stuff like that, would you be
Yes.
available for that?
Yes, I do program directing and MC. I've had a lot of practice from the our hustling, where we do product distribution and all that. Greenwald has offered me that platform because now and again we have conventions, company conventions, where a lot of distributors gather. We have got special presentations and trainings where I feature in also as a trainer and also as a presenter. And then when it's the what do you call them? These events where they honor or they award excellent distributors, I'll be there maybe as an MC. I'm sometimes featured. That's where I got the practice and all. Then I realized I can do this. And I will also accredit the church where I fellowship. I'm part of the secretary, so we are the ones who choose the MCs for the services. So sometimes if they apologize and say I won't be available, we take that space and we do the program directing. And if we have an event in church, our office is the one that is involved in producing the program and everything there. And we end up being the MCs also. Yes,
This is
so
amazing.
we can do.
No. This is amazing, and I think many people just take emceeing as something that you do maybe uh, at church, as you are saying, and in small events. But this is a big job. This is a big
It
thing that
is
enables you to be able to control time, control activity, and ensure that the
activity.
activity runs as it is supposed to run, and
Exactly.
it brings some control and order. It's a leadership thing
It's
that when you
leadership
are there,
mission, yeah.
you are really having the reins and you want to make the event follow what has been planned, like
Yeah,
like like a project manager, because an event is a project, just got a start
exactly.
end date
Exactly.
and
And I want to say, Doc,
end
that
and time. Yeah.
uh, nowadays, especially in nowadays, you get any chance to speak nowadays, whether you are addressing people live, we have got a lot of events, right, happening. So I always say, if you get a chance to speak in an event, make it worthwhile.
Yes,
So most of the times I've realized that sometimes people are told you are going to feature in this program and then they are not prepared. They go there, they now drag, ended up wasting time where you feel now the MC is chasing them, trying to take the mic. So I realized that MC-ship is a vital position in any kind of event. And an MC or a program director becomes the life of that event. Sometimes you might find the event is boring, but the MC brings life into the event. Yes.
definitely.
So it is leadership because you also have to have the ideal event in mind and then try to bring it into life. It's
Yes,
not just a passing time to say, okay, now this one is following, this one will speak, and then after this we will have this. No, you have an ideal event in mind, and you're trying to bring it in life, into life, and you also want it to be a success. Yes.
yes. No. This is very powerful because I've gone to some events, especially church events, where you find the MC is
Mm.
really not up to scratch. The size of the event and the kind of people that are there and stuff like that. This person
Mm.
is just playing and
Yes.
not taking this thing seriously, or
Mm.
they are too serious in an event that is
Yes,
not
yes,
serious.
yes,
They
yeah.
don't contextualize and understand where are we here and what are
Yeah,
we going to be doing here, who is here, and what is
yeah,
the message behind the whole thing.
the
I
whole
think you can also be able to train other MCs, maybe in
yeah,
churches and in events, to really be able to understand this space, because there are a lot of spaces where training is needed, but training has not been done.
yeah,
Do you agree with
yes,
me?
yeah. I always do. We in Greenwood we have what we call new distributor orientation.
Yes,
So we sometimes train new distributors on our products and also on the business side, of which on the business side there's also some strategies that are taught, and also there's leadership, because leadership is everywhere. So there's
yes,
leadership, there's a lot of things, there's communication. So always involved in these trainings, and I sometimes feature in to do the training on the presentation and communication side. And I always start with a statement that was said by one guy from America who says the biggest challenge with communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
Yes.
Biggest challenge with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. And I think if you have checked on our videos, you saw that there was I don't know if you saw that video, I will send it to you, where I was talking to a guy, he speaks Isindebele, and he was saying, Sibone isilwane, kodwa sona isilwane did not see us. But in Isindebele, you will say, Sibone isilwane, kodwa isilwane asisibonanga. You get the sense?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
there's this illusion that you have said what you had to say. But now there are two possible scenarios now.
Yeah.
It's either you saw the lion or you did not see the lion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we are saying, isilwane sona sisibona.
Yeah.
So now somebody can hear it and say, oh, these guys saw a lion and the lion did not see them. Then the other one will say, these guys did not see a lion. They just resting away. So that's what we usually teach on communication based on, to say that's the biggest challenge with communication. As human beings, we have gotten better in terms of using effective modes of communication, but we haven't gotten better in communication itself.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You're finishing up your thought, yeah?
Yeah, so I was saying, even as an MC, like you don't leave communication out of it. You are a communicator. You have to get messages across to the audience, and you also, if it's a kind of event where you have to raise arguments, you have to do that. You have to be such effective in such a way that you make people participate, engage, and enjoy the session, and also get all their answers from. Get all the answers to their questions, right? So I take it serious.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Because one thing in leadership is what we call selling a vision.
Exactly.
Selling a vision. So as an MC, as you are saying, you are selling a vision of an event, and you are ensuring that people buy into that particular vision. My last question, I think our time is gone. We talked a lot earlier about participation of youth. You said one critical message that we have for the youth is that youth want to participate, whether it's in politics or it's in church or it's in family, in school, wherever they want to participate. So who do you blame? Who do you blame for non-participation? The youth themselves or the adults? And why?
All right. This one I will be a bit biased, but I think, Doc, you are aware of something called the, especially when youth get into puberty stage, that what do they call it? The generation gap. I think they call it the generation gap. Yeah, where you will find now parents and kids are always at loggerheads because of that gap. So I think it proceeds even to later stages. When you are 20, you are 30, you are still finding it hard
That
to
gap
engage
continues
parents.
to open.
You're still finding it hard to engage adults. And also, like I was saying, sometimes we fail to understand what youth want. And then when we don't answer to that, then youth decide, let them just do. So I will blame both parties. The youth are not forcing it to be heard. They are not trying. They are not going an extra mile in trying to be heard. We give up and then end up maybe giving up on church or giving up on politics. Not deciding not to vote and say, let them mess up this country. But maybe sometimes we have to force it. Not necessarily use force, but find effective ways
Persuade, negotiate, push,
negotiate, all that.
advocate.
Yes. Advocate, yes. Take initiatives, yes. So I will blame us, the youth, that we are not trying harder to make sure that we are ahead. And then also I will say uh, the leaders or the parents, they should also take us serious now.
Yeah.
They because one thing I've realized, I'm an adult youth, I'm in my 30s, but I still sometimes find I still sometimes think the attitude of the leaders will be like uh I'll be still taken like a 20-year-old or a 13-year-old. I'm still grouped under the youth,
Yeah.
but now I'm an adult youth.
Yes.
So this is high time that I'm in the center where I negotiate for both sides.
Okay.
I don't know if you get me. Yes.
I get it
So
very well. I get it very well. It's something called age-specific interventions. To say
exactly,
youth also have categories. There is teenagers, there is post-teenagers, there is young adults,
young
there is
adults.
single
Yes.
youth, there is also youth with children. So we
Yeah.
don't bundle them together, but we ensure that we understand them as we engage
Yes,
them.
yes, yeah. Because it's different sets of challenges for different groups under the youth. So, and also we have to check what's happening in their lives right now. In adult youth, at 30s, yes, now you are looking into maybe marrying, you are looking into maybe settling down or buying a house and all that. Someone in early 20s, they are still focused on university. Maybe those ones, the teenagers are still in high school. So, in addressing youth, we have to keep that in mind. In making sure that they participate, we have to engage them at different levels. How do we engage teenagers? How do we engage those in their 20s who are still in varsity? How do we engage the adult youth who are now 30 and above? And
Yes.
also the doctrines. I think our doctrines, they haven't moved with time. Uh, I think you asked me back since why youth end up not participating, why
Yes,
we
in
find
church.
more youth.
Yeah.
Yes, why we
You
find
find
more.
you'll find large numbers of youth in the sports and in
Yes,
the dancing. But when you come
yes.
on Sunday to church, the numbers are few.
The numbers
Right.
are dropping. Yes,
Mm.
I think it's the stereotype around church, where they say if you interview youth, they will tell you, this church is for adults, and they will tell you about doctrines where they say, you don't allow us to drink, you don't allow us maybe to date. So youth will say, they are still exploring, right? So they feel like, we'll be too much confined, right? But and if you visit the doctrines, yes, they say, obviously, if you are a Christian, you don't have to uh, drink. Maybe you don't have to drink alcohol and get drunk. I don't know. Maybe I get it in right. You don't have to drink alcohol and get drunk. Yes, but the youth out there want to drink. They are having a lot of stuff going on. They are trying to escape. So maybe one way, before judging that they are drinking, let's attend to their psychology. What's troubling them? Why do they want to escape real life and get drunk and forget about their troubles? What's troubling them?
Yeah.
So if we find out, is the church able to then address those issues? Is the church able to get them out of their situations? If it's a case of somebody's unemployed, now he's drinking to escape the misery of being unemployed, is the church ready to employ that youth so that at least he be in the right state of mind and not start using drugs or alcohol to escape a situation?
Amazing, 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 amazing stuff. I think we're getting closer to our end, and I'm sorry for the disturbance and the network issue. But what
Yeah.
are your last words? What are your closing words as we close right now?
All right. On the closing note, I will thank you, Doc, for the opportunity. Yes, I wasn't really prepared for it because it was a short notice. I would have done more research and engagements, but I thank you for the opportunity, and I hope that maybe in the near future we'll have another session. And I also acknowledge the work that you are doing, especially with the youth. This is the second time being involved in your leadership programs. The last one was in June, and now you've also engaged me. I acknowledge that, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I wish that you do more of this work to reach out to youth. And I love the fact that you've chosen social media, and that reaches to a lot of youth there, because most of social media consumers are youth, and the content that is there sometimes can disturb youth. I think you saw the situation of Facebook and all that. So we really need more of these contents on social media. We
Yes.
need more of these engagements on social media, so that we gather our youth and we channel them into the right directions, and we continue to preach the gospel.
Wonderful, wonderful. I do promise that I will really come back to you one day. Maybe bring your group, the churchtainment group, so that we
Yes,
can be able to talk more about that, but also dig deep into that, because it's quite a good space for education,
yes,
awareness creation, in a
yes.
lighter manner, but with a very powerful message. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. We will meet again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. God bless you.
Wonderful. That's Janamiso Dube here with us tonight. We closing. Please share the broadcast. Please comment and let other people learn from the amazing thoughts and amazing, input that we had tonight. May God bless you all as you prepare for Sunday tomorrow. Amasonto sevuli bakithi, please go to church. Le ndaba yokuthi kwathini iphelile, let's go to church. God bless you. Amen.
Thank you.